Welcome to Morning Mika. It's all about the Forbes and Know Your Value 4th annual 50 over 50 U.S. list. We are spotlighting another incredible group of women who have rejected the conventional wisdom that their best years are behind them. These women in their 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, and well beyond have achieved significant success and impact later in life, often by overcoming major obstacles. When we first started this partnership between Forbes and Know Your Value back in 2021, it was so successful, we immediately went global, expanding the list from the U.S. to Asia, Europe, the Middle East, and Africa. And this year, from filmmaker Ava DuVernay at 51 to former presidential advisor Valerie Jarrett at 67 to Michelle Kang, a 65-year-old sports team owner, to actress June Squibb at 94. This list may be our most impressive yet. Take a look.
Is being over the age of 50 an advantage or disadvantage in your current work?
I'm choosing to really believe in the experience that I've lived is making me a better performer, a better businesswoman. So I refuse to let it be a disadvantage, but Hollywood is not set up that way. So I'm constantly finding ways of maintaining what I believe is deserved opportunity and fighting for it.
So it's absolutely an advantage, and I wouldn't have it any other way, because I have this plethora of experiences that one has built on the other, that's built on the other through several companies, and I couldn't have done that in a compacted amount of time. And I had to live, by the way, through the highs and lows of different projects and different companies' cycles. All of that is cumulative to the experience I bring today in my current role.
Being over 50 is the most liberating. Like, seriously, I know myself. Like, being over 50, you're more lean in life. You know what you like, you know what you don't like. And a lot of people will look at me and say, oh, I can't believe she's over 50. I don't always act like I'm over 50. I act age appropriate when necessary, but when I'm with my players, I feel in my 30s.
The long shot can be very profitable. You say that about yourself. Is that what you look for in entrepreneurs, the long shots?
I'm really looking for those long shots because in a power law distributed world, you're looking for long shots. It's really the few that will generate a lot of profitability.
I never imagined, just when I said that I got emotional, I never imagined or fathomed what I'm doing now. There was no one that I could look to who was doing what I'm doing now, and I've only been making films for 12 years. There was no Black woman filmmaker who had a consistent, successful career who was making work every year. And so I would look at filmmakers, Spike Lee most prominently, who was working in film, television, music video, commercial, documentary, moving all over the place. And I thought, oh, could a woman do that? Could a Black woman do that?
When you bet on yourself, when you utilize the perseverance that it took to get you to that status, it's the same kind of gall it takes to go in there and ask for what is your worth. Like, you deserve that.
I now come at things with such a different level of belief in myself and a fight. I'm not knocked over easily anymore. So I'm gonna forever peak. I'm gonna keep peaking. Why should there be one peak? It's when you start to categorize it as your time's up, you've had a good run, it's over. Who decides that?
Truly, it is about your decision. You know, you decide when it's too late. You decide when you don't want to try anymore. You decide when you're going to lean in a little bit. You decide how you want to be in the world each day when you wake up. You are the director of your life. You call action in the morning when you wake up. Maybe you just take one step, and the next day you take another step, but you decide how far you can go. No one else does.
And here to talk about the women on this year's incredible 50 over 50 U.S. list is Of course, Maggie McGrath, editor of Forbes Women, and a driving force behind the list. Also with us, Huma Abedin, MSNBC contributor and, of course, the vice chair of the Know Your Value and Forbes 3050 Summit, which celebrates the lists in a multi-generational mentoring fashion in Abu Dhabi and New York City. Maggie, the women on this list come from dozens of industries, including biotech, education, retail, architecture, and beyond. Tell our viewers what it took to make this list, what was so hard about it, and what stuck out to you about this year's group of women.
Well, Mika, as you know, the process for compiling the 50 over 50 is a process that takes many, many months. We vet hundreds and hundreds of nominations from the general public, and we also do some reporting to find our own candidates who will be good people for the list. We then send the semifinalists to our judges, who all told me they had such a hard time choosing among these stories of innovation and reinvention. And those are the two big themes we're seeing every year, but especially this year. Entrepreneurship is a huge theme. We have 75 or so women who have either founded or own their company who are on this year's list, and a lot of them got the entrepreneurial bug over the age of 50. One example of this is Diana Levy. She was a stay-at-home mom for 20 years. Two of her daughters were diagnosed with celiac disease, and she wanted to make a snack that they could eat. That turned into Undercover Snacks. It's a chocolate quinoa crisp. It's sold in 25,000 stores across the U.S., Target and Walmart, and it's also on United Airlines flights. So those are some of the highlight stories that we have in this year's package, and we hope everyone goes online to read all about them.
Huma, this year, right up your alley, a number of women in politics and policy also made the list. So who jumps out at you?
Three names jumped out at me, even though it's an incredible holistic list. But first and foremost, you mentioned Valerie Jarrett, who's got such an incredible story. I mean, at 52, was named senior advisor to President Obama, and the longest serving senior advisor to a president in history. She's got a history as a successful businesswoman. She worked in city government, and she now runs the Obama Foundation. She's the CEO there, and wrote this amazing memoir in 2019 where she talked about finding her voice and how to pivot when life throws curveballs your way. Also on the list is Cindy McCain. I remember in my mind, Cindy McCain first came to a lot of our minds as the wife of then Senator John McCain, senator from Arizona. And she, was this beautiful kind of figure you saw on screen, not recognizing or realizing her own history as a businesswoman, a philanthropist. Fast forward today, she is the executive director of the UN food program, the World Food Program, excuse me. Previously having served as a U.S. ambassador to the UN agencies for food and agriculture. She just is an extraordinary humanitarian leader and activist. I mean, called the war in Gaza a full-blown famine in May. Has her people on the ground sending in aid for 1.4 million people a month. An extraordinary leader, and so worthy to be on the list. And the last, and Maggie, this is one of the reasons I love how diverse the list is. LaTosha Brown, who is the co-founder of Black Voters Matter, at 53, she self-identifies as an activist and a community organizer, but also an artist, a singer. She has such a diverse background, and she is a leader in leading sort of the get out the vote effort, voter suppression, voter registration, how to reach marginalized, particularly Black communities, and showing that everyone's vote matters and counts. So those are the three standouts from that incredible list.
And Huma, I think it's important we point out that for our very first, Vice President Kamala Harris was on the cover of our inaugural 50 over 50 list. So tell us more about how 50 over 50 is really defining a community of success and impact and future growth, particularly in regards to Kamala Harris, who's poised to go head-to-head with Donald Trump in November.
The excitement and the energy. Here's a woman who has made history for decades at this point. I mean, elected to the United States Senate as the first Indian American woman from California at 51. obviously now a history-making vice president, woman, Indian, African-American. And aside from that, her record as a public servant, as a legislator, as a prosecutor, attorney general, it just, and the energy, and I love that she was debuted on that list because, I was at a dinner last night and a woman sat next to me. She said, well, I'm not really sure what she's done aside from being, vice president to Joe Biden. And you look at her history, her career, this is why it's important to remind people of these stories. Not only is it inspiring, these in some ways are history lessons and a pathway, an opportunity for all those young girls and boys who are out there thinking, okay, what can I maybe do with my life? We have a vice president, and hopefully, for those of us who are Democrats, a future president who is going to be truly a groundbreaker in so many ways.
And Maggie, when we started this list, was 4 years ago. Just yes, no on this one. Did I drive you crazy?
No,
yes,
I think I
yes,
drove you crazy.
Yeah. Okay. No. Well. Okay. Maybe. But we had maybe it was two ways. We had a massive influx of nominees, over 10,000 in our first year. We broke the list up into 4 categories: impact, investment, innovation, and lifestyle. And you say the innovation category was particularly compelling this year. Tell us about it.
That's right, Mika. So we know that in the U.S., women account for about 3/4 of the healthcare and social care workforce. So it never really surprises me when I see healthcare CEOs or biotech founders in the candidates for this year's list or any year's list. However, there are some women forging major scientific discoveries that will impact millions and millions of lives. The first of these is Akiko Iwasaki. She is an immunobiologist at Yale, and she has long been an expert in the human immune system. But ever since the COVID pandemic and the emergence of long COVID, which affects 65 million people worldwide, she has pivoted her research so we can better understand this disease. And she says we're not all the way there yet, but we've learned a lot. And of course, understanding is the first step towards treatment and prevention. And the other scientist and physician I want to call out is Stacy Tesler-Lindow. She's 56 years old at the University of Chicago, and she has dedicated her career to uncovering sexual restoration of function after cancer, right? So what that means is she wants to help cancer patients achieve normal lives after they have had cancer. Specifically, what this means right now is she is working with neuroscientists and engineers to develop a sensor for women who have had a mastectomy or reconstructive breast surgery so they can restore function and sensor after they have had those treatments. She has funding from the NIH, and she says that these bionic breast sensors could have applications in other parts of the body that have gone under surgery and might need a little bit of help restoring sensor there. So she could, between her and Akiko, there's so many stories, and the other 48 people on the innovation list who are impacting millions and millions of lives.
And we get to meet these women in New York and Abu Dhabi. I can't wait. So Huma and Maggie, to close, what do you think the takeaway of this list is? Not only for women over 50, but I like to include younger women who are just starting out in their careers. It seems to me this is for them. Huma, you go first.
Choice. You have choice and you have time. And for somebody like me, who was constantly worried that I didn't have time, that I always had to be in a hurry, first piece of advice you gave me, and it's the best piece of advice you've given me.
Love it. Maggie?
So every year when we put out this list, I get thank you notes from people on the 30 under 30, which was really unexpected. I expected to hear from people from the over 50 community, which we hear as well, right? But I think when you're under the age of 30 or even just over 30, every mistake feels magnified. Every point of failure feels like that's it, my career is doomed. And what the women of the 50 over 50 show us is those mistakes can be stepping stones, and you can ultimately build a career over the age of 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. We have a 102-year-old on this year's list that is more fulfilling than you ever could have imagined.
You know, living longer, living better, and having success later in life, it's the long runway. So younger women can calm down, take a couple of detours in life, do some different things. It is okay. There's no rush anymore. I grew up in a rush. Everyone else can now slow down. Maggie McGrath and Huma Abedin, thank you both so much. You, of course, will be hearing much more about the women who made our 50 over 50 U.S. list in the weeks to come, in addition to our luncheon spotlighting our honorees in New York City later this fall. And, of course, all this leads up to our annual 30-50 summit on and around International Women's Day in Abu Dhabi.